to be the greatest country in the world. And it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for. And if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
All right, what's going on, America? It is Thursday's episode, and unfortunately, this is going to be not our favorite kind of episode. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday there was a shooting. You guys know about this, but the worst part is the FBI, again, knew about it. How many more times is this going to happen? How many more? The FBI at this point needs to be burned to the ground. I'm serious. Every single agent needs to be fired. We need to completely and utterly, I would borderline say, disband it at this point because they're useless. We also have information stating that the school, in fact, was warned the day of that a shooting would happen, but yet they still had school. The left is, of course, taking this opportunity to push assault weapons bans and bringing in red flag laws, but we'll get on into all that in a minute. Donald Trump destroyed Kamala Harris in his town hall event last night, of which she cowardicely backed out of. And also, Tim Walz is being subpoenaed for a $250 million COVID fraud scam. We have a lot of things to talk about. And, of course, today, David Pollock's going to join us for the first ever end-of-week college football pick'em segment of the Dear America show. But we need your help. We need every single one of you to hit that like button right now. The more you hit the like button, the more people see this. Make sure to hit that follow button. And let's go ahead and get the chat blowing up right now. Do you believe that people allowed what happened yesterday to happen? Yes or no? I'm going to go ahead and go out here on a limb and be honest with you. The answer is unequivocally yes. I believe that to be so. And I don't say that lightly, and I hate that I'm having to say that, but the evidence points to it. And at this point, how many more times do we have to be punched in the mouth before we realize, oh, somebody's trying to actually hurt us? That's what I believe. All right, let's get to it here. We got Grandpappy Albolito. COVID survivor, diabetic conqueror, Mexican cartel Tony is in the building.
What up, everybody? Good morning. How's it?
All right, well, next we have I Have Beard, producer Royce.
I do have beard.
Look how good it's growing in.
It is looking nice, man.
All right, and everybody's favorite redneck, Hot Seat Todd is here.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
And, of course, I'm your host, Graham Allen. No, I'm not. It's just Todd. There we go. Hey, all right.
I don't know why yours is always late. It's fine on my end. It's weird.
I don't know. That's interesting. That's a good question.
He was too busy looking
Why
at
does
his
the
beard
boss's
in the camera.
thing not work, Royce? That's a good question.
Royce is doing it on purpose, man. He's making you look bad.
All right, first, let's go ahead and get our first sponsor out of the way. We want to take a minute to tell you about our friends over at Silent. Ladies and gentlemen, the government is spying on you, and our friends over at Silent have created these Faraday pouches, Faraday backpacks. They're super simple stuff. You can literally shove your phone in the Faraday cage, and all the geo-tracking, all the wireless cell phone, cellular data, everything's gone. Look, they got a sweet old fanny pack for those of you who want to be The Rock in 1997. They also have a backpack. They also have, look, many of you just close your laptops. You don't even realize you're being tracked. Stop Big Brother from being Big Brother. Go to slnt.com/Graham right now to get 15% off plus free shipping on qualifying orders. Make sure it's a qualifying order for free shipping. Go to slnt.com/Graham. That's slnt.com/Graham. You can get 15% off right now. All right. We got to move kind of quick today because David's going to be here at 10, but I do need to make a statement, okay? Yesterday, we had a bit of controversy, and I want to take this opportunity to clarify some things. Yesterday, let's play the clip really quick to remind everyone of the clip. Yesterday, I was getting on a tangent like I normally do, and no, I don't want that yet. I want the video.
I know.
There we
it's
go.
Just weird because I can't.
All right, this is a clip of what I said, just to remind everybody here. Let's play this clip. Let's play it. People died in South Carolina this week from some type of deli meat. You can't even trust the food. Remember when I said they're going to go after the food supply? You remember all this stuff, and now you got people dying from eating a sandwich from Firehouse. I'm just saying. It's weird. Pause. Okay. So I was going on a tangent, and admittedly, I just said the first sandwich shop that came to my head. Literally, like it was just the first sandwich shop that came to my head. But I see how in that edit and the way it came out, it sounded like I was saying Firehouse is killing people. Well, Firehouse subs saw it, and they sent me a message, and they were very nice, but they were like, hey there, we think there's been a mix-up here. We do not serve boar's head deli meat at Firehouse Subs, and now all of your followers probably think that we do. Can you please help us fix that? So next thing I know, I'm on a call with their CMO at Firehouse. And so I want to say this. Firehouse, as you see there, is not serving this tainted meat that's killing people in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I really do have a great relationship with Firehouse Subs, and you should support them absolutely. They have always provided the food for our Freedom on the Range events for the Dear America Foundation, helping our veterans and first responders. And also, a percentage of every single sale they have goes to help firefighters. All right. So I apologize officially on that. I for sure was not meaning to attack Firehouse Subs. In fact, of all the sub places, Firehouse is my favorite, and that is the truth. So please make sure to keep supporting Firehouse Subs. And again, to the owners and to the headquarters of Firehouse, I do apologize. Sometimes I forget how many people watch this show, and I just get to rattling off some things. And, anyway, so I have another call. It wasn't Todd this time. Yeah, you're right.
That's what happens when you go off the dome there, Graham. Sometimes
Thank you, blessed believer.
Anyway, so again, I want to thank Firehouse Subs for being very cool about it. They could have been like, we're suing you over this kind of thing, but they weren't. They were super cool. Apparently, a lot of them are fans of the show, and we are fans of them. So make sure to go give Firehouse a shout out. And,
now I want a Firehouse sub.
Go get you a sub from Firehouse today. All right. We got to move on. Okay. I want to talk about something very scary. A good friend of mine, Pastor Greg Locke. And a lot of people, you can say what you want to say about Pastor Greg Locke. I don't care. He's been a great friend of mine, a great leader of mine, a great person that I run things off of all the time. 2 nights ago, Greg Locke and his home was attacked. And we'll zoom in here. Someone unloaded at least one full magazine into Pastor Greg Locke's home. You can see how many shell casings are right here. But this is his truck. We'll go a little further here. Whoa. Another image. I mean, right there. But the most disturbing one is this. This is the headboard of his daughter's bedroom. God. And you can see that the bullet went right here, and you can see all the debris from the side of the house. I want to take this opportunity to say that I don't care what your opinions of Greg Locke are. I believe that Greg Locke is fighting a spiritual battle. Does he always come across the right way? No, but none of us do. But I formally rebuke this behavior in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Because some of this were either straight up demonic people, or they were people that thought that they were doing the Lord's work by getting rid of Greg Locke. And the answer is you are an insane person, and I hope that you were punished to the full extent of the law. Pastor Greg and his wife are currently being monitored by police at a hotel and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it truly is scary times that we're living in. And I really hope that you all will take the opportunity to go send your love and support to Pastor Greg and his family. Like I said, he's always been a big supporter of us. His church has been very generous in their donations to the Asher House, and they've always put their money where their mouth is. And here's another thing I'll say about Greg that many people don't know, and we got to move on. Most churches operate on like a 95-5. 95% of the tithes they bring in go into the church. Greg and his church operate on an 80-20, where 20% goes to the church and 80% goes back out.
It's the way it's supposed to be.
Most people don't realize that, how crazy that is, that's how it goes at Greg Locke's church. So you can say what you want to. Greg Locke is one of the most generous people I've ever met. And when Roe v. Wade got overturned, they immediately started a adoption charity, and they have helped so many people adopt across the United States. And so we're praying for Greg Locke and his family. The persecution against Christians is real, ladies and gentlemen. And so make sure to please say a prayer for Pastor Greg and his family, because it's crazy, man, especially when they're friends of yours. You see this stuff go down, and so it's nuts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about this the other day. Turkey has officially accepted an invite to attend the BRICS summit in Russia next month. Ladies and gentlemen, they are going to announce in October a counter currency to the U.S. dollar. They are going to try to tank the U.S. dollar on a national level. Putin literally told Tucker Carlson this just about 3 months ago. So that's why we're begging you to please text the word Graham. That's Graham to 989898 right now. My good friends at Birch Gold. Can you zoom in at the top up there where it says gold, silver, and everything? Can you zoom in? Right there. See how everything's up? Gold's up, silver's up, platinum's up. It's almost like I'm trying to help you out here to protect your money while these people go, look, even palladium, whatever that is. You can text the word Graham to 989898 right now, and my good friends at Birch Gold are going to send you a free information kit on how gold, silver, and precious metals can help protect your money against whoever's administration we're under economy, but also the attack against gold on the national stage. Text the word Graham to 989898 right now. All right. Todd, I actually want you to lead us in this next one. Walz, Tim Walz has been subpoenaed by the House for COVID fraud. Read us this a little bit.
Yeah, so Tim Walz was hit with a House subpoena for records on a $250 million Minnesota COVID fraud. Basically, what was going on here is they were taking food and not giving it out. The House Education and Workforce Committee subpoenaed the Governor Walz on Wednesday for records related to a $250 million COVID-19 relief fraud scheme that occurred on his watch. The Democratic vice presidential nominee was ordered to hand over any documents about the scandal, which involved pandemic relief funds being distributed via the Minnesota Department of Education's Administration of Federal Child Nutrition Program. Rather than nourishing hungry children, however, the money funded lavish lifestyles, include cars, real estate holdings as far away as Turkey.
Bury him alive.
Bury
him alive.
Kendra was an educator during this, and basically what was going on in these states is due to COVID, the students that were getting free lunches were still able to come to the school to get, lunch to go, food to go, so they could go home and feed. And this, we talked about this on our first episode of In the Hot Seat. This dude is a piece of trash. I have no doubt that he's involved in this, that money went back into his pocket, into his administration pockets in Minnesota, and anybody that would take money away from a starving child is just a piece of trash.
Well, first of all, comment in the chat right now. I want to see the chat blow up. Do you believe? Keep Dumbo's face on the thing here. Do you believe that this piece of human garbage was behind this, responsible for this, and lined his own pockets with this? Comment yes or no in the comment section right now. And if not him, his donors.
For real. And as Kendra just said, it was literally breakfast and lunches every day. They would pull up, the faculty would come out, hand them breakfast, hand them lunch, and they would drive off. This is horrible.
We already know that one of the major issues of COVID when they shut the schools down was, unfortunately, in America, a lot of children's only refuge from their abusive homes is school. And so one, we know that the trauma that was put on our children during the COVID lockdowns, one, of being forced to stay in their abusive homes constantly, but also the children that come from poor families and poor tax bracket income families. This to use, again, anything with kids, I'm out. To use the veil of we're trying to feed kids, so we need $250 million, and then none of that goes to the children, and they're driving Maseratis around and all this other kind of stuff. I say bury them just like the Wicked Witch of is it the West or the East? Which one's the bad one?
Wicked
West.
Somebody help me out. Which one's the bad one?
West,
I
I
have
think.
no
We were
idea.
thinking.
Okay, either way, drop the house on him and roll his legs up just like in the movie. Like, be done with this
I mean,
guy.
we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, we already saw that he lied about his record, his military record, his stolen valor.
Bro, this dude's lied about everything, man.
We saw that he let his city burn in Minnesota. I mean, come on. I mean, why are we?
It's always
why are we
money.
even talking
It's
about
always
Yeah, it
money that
is.
causes people to
And
do
I'm
this
telling
stuff.
you, there was a lot of people, a lot of garbage individuals that made millions of dollars off this COVID relief
Oh,
fraud.
absolutely.
Do me a favor, real quick. You want to know the toll of demonic activity within your soul. Royce, Google Keanu Reeves, Tim Walz. Just trust me on this. Let's see how fast you can get it. Keanu Reeves, Tim Walz. Google it. I need an image. Google it. I need an image. Just hang on. I'm going to show you something here. All right. Just Keanu Reeves, Tim Walz. Just that one on the left's fine. Okay. Let's blow that up. All right. This is the, can we make that bigger?
Oh, my bad. Yep. It switched screens, so.
This is the problem with selling your soul. Keanu Reeves is actually 150 days older than Tim Walz.
Wow.
Wow.
That's what selling your soul will do to you.
Gee.
Keanu Reeves is older than Tim Walz.
Wow.
I found that interesting the other day.
Nuts.
Because it was Keanu's birthday the other day. Shout out Keanu
Yeah,
Reeves,
isn't
one of the
he
nicest
60?
guys in Hollywood.
Man, I thought you was
He's
fixing
60,
to break my
right?
heart again.
No. I've heard nothing but good things about Keanu.
Okay.
But this is my point. This is what happens when you sell your soul to the devil and you have
fact.
evil in your heart every single day. You age like this. Okay? Keanu Reeves is, in fact, older than Tim Walz. And Tim Walz looks like he's the grandfather of Keanu Reeves at this point. All right.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Okay, let's move on a little bit. So this was something shocking yesterday. This viral photo of Walz's for Trump. And a lot of people were saying, oh, this photo is fake and all this. And so shout out to Jack Posobiec. Jack Posobiec actually got the phone number to some of these people. And I don't know if we can look up Jack's Twitter real quick.
Yeah, I can find it.
Because he has screenshots of text messages with the family. Basically, their grandfathers are brothers or something like that is how they're related. So they're cousins, I guess, is who this is. To Tim Walz, and his family is coming out and say, screw that guy. We can't stand him. If you can't find it right away, it's not a big deal.
Well, and his brother too. Like,
Well,
I mean,
yeah, his brother absolutely
brother,
can't stand him. Anyway, okay, all right. Can you not find it? Yeah,
I'm looking through his page. I'm trying to find it.
No big deal. But here's when the best part was Donald Trump actually
wait, I
had.
found it.
Oh, you found it. Okay. Here is a text interaction between Jack Posobiec and one of the family members. Our spokesperson, Brandy Preston, is this, that the family will not be doing interviews, but they did say shortly after Governor Tim Walz was named Democrat Party vice presidential nominee, our family had a get-together. We had T-shirts made to show support for President Trump and J.D. Vance and took a group picture. That photo was shared with friends, and when we were asked for permission to post the picture, we agreed. The picture is real. The shirts are real. We are Nebraska Walz family, which is where Tim Walz is originally from, and we are related to Governor Tim Walz. Our grandfathers were brothers. The message on the shirt speaks for itself. Nebraska Walz's for Trump. So even his entire family hates him. Okay? His entire family hates him. All right? And then President Trump chimes in, as he always does, with the dagger. Thank you very much, Jeff. It is a great... Oh, Thank you very much, Jeff. It is a great honor to have your endorsement. Look forward to meeting you soon. I know for a fact from the Trump campaign that they are actively recruiting members of the Walz family to go on the campaign trail and just, stick it to arguably one of the worst VP picks of all time.
Well, Todd, yesterday on your show, you said something about that through thick and thin, your family would stick by
Yeah,
you.
man. Like
against obviously,
Yeah.
the Walz family is not. I mean, you guys all know that my family is very left, very liberal. But I don't think they would do something like this to me if I was running for office. I don't think they'd come out and like, we're
Screw
totally
Antonio.
against Tony, blah blah blah. Because I mean, when all is said and done, we're family. They love me. I love them. I mean, they have their views. I don't agree with their views. I respect what their views are, but I don't agree with them. But I don't think they'd come out and throw this on the internet and say screw Tony because he's a you know what.
This is a lifetime of you being a piece of human garbage to your own family.
And I mean,
That's
this
what
is bad. Don't get me wrong.
It is.
Like,
It's horrible.
cousins from another state that you never hang out with is one thing, but when your own brother comes out and says, "Hey, this is not the guy you want making decisions for the country," like,
Yeah. So
wow.
speaking of his brother, here are some of those comments that his own brother has made. If
this
you
is
think
awesome.
Tim Walz is a devil, comment yes or no in the chats right now. So this is Jeff Walz, the brother of Tim Walz. He says, haven't spoken to him in 8 years. I'm 100% opposed to all his ideology. My family wasn't given any notice that he was selected and denied security the days after. So in other words, what happened to Tim Walz? If Tim Walz's entire family seems to be Republican, why is Tim Walz a Democrat? And why did Tim Walz move to Minnesota to become the governor of Minnesota? Could it perhaps be that he sold his soul? Let's look a little further here. Jeff Walz says, I've thought hard about doing something like that. To get on stage with President and endorse him. I'm torn between that and just keeping my family out of it. The stories I could tell, not the type of character you want making decisions about your future.
Please tell the stories. Tell
So-
the stories.
Again, here's my thing. Tim Walz is from Nebraska. Obviously, all or the majority of Tim Walz's family is Republican and pro-Donald Trump. So what happened to Tim Walz coming from an all-Republican family? The family is still hardcore Republican, Trump, MAGA all the way. 8 years ago, he cuts off communication from his own brother, hadn't spoken to in 8 years, but he moves to Minnesota and becomes the Democrat governor of Minnesota, arguably the worst one they've ever had. Could that be bought and paid for type stuff? Selling of your soul, people. I'm trying to tell you, it's a real thing. They do it all the
Nobody
time.
knows you like your brother. Just saying.
Yep. All right. Next, we got to get into our sponsor, Patriot Mobile. Thank you, Lord. All right, dear. All right. Our friends at Patriot Mobile are a Christian organization of which you should be spending your money. Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham, and the promo code Graham is going to get you a free month when you join. Join me, Glenn Beck, Dana Lash, Dan Bongino, Steve Bannon, Sebastian Gorka, Charlie Kirk, and the list goes on and on. They've got two amazing new technologies in phones. One is the Patriot Mobile One phone with dual towers. If you go somewhere and Verizon isn't working, you switch to AT&T. If AT&T isn't working, you switch to Verizon. But they also have this new thing with Unplugged, which is a new state-of-the-art, basically surveillance-free phone. There it is. It's called the Up phone. It's now available, and it is equipped with Unplugged technology to where you are invisible. Is that an iPhone?
No, this is the unplugged phone.
No. But what I mean is what type of phone is that? An iPhone? That's an unplugged phone?
No,
On the
it's
left?
an Android for sure.
That's an Android. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
for
got
sure.
the
It just
same.
looks
it's
like
got
an
the
iPhone.
same. Okay, all right. Either way, this is a way for you to be invisible, to get off the grid, and you guys should be a part of this right now. Stealthy and invisible encrypted email service, secure encrypted texting, unplugged up suite, storage secured from hacking, unplugged antivirus software in every phone. Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham right now. Promo code Graham is going to get you a free month when you sign up. Go right now, patriotmobile.com/Graham, promo code Graham. All right, here we go. This is going to be the hard part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, so I need you to hit that like button right now because we're fixing to talk about some things that are hard to talk about, but it's the truth. I believe it to be true, and I believe that our children are not safe. So I need you to hit the like button right now, hit that share button. If you believe that the shooting that happened yesterday was allowed to happen, comment yes or no in the chat. I want to know where you stand. I'm going to go ahead and be the first one to say it. After the evidence I've seen, I think yes. And I think our children are not safe. And I think that our children, I think that it's only a matter of time before we see this again. And I think that it is very, very scary what is going on in our country. And it's not the guns, Democrats, for your talking points of trying to take away America's Second Amendment rights. It's not the guns. It's the ineffectiveness of the people that knew this was going to happen. Literally, has it been 24 hours? And yet we know that the FBI and the local police departments and the school systems completely dropped the ball 100%. Let's just play this video real quick, and then we'll get into this here.
As the sheriff mentioned earlier this morning, the shooter is in custody. His name is Colt, that's C-O-L-T, Gray. He is a 14-year-old student here at the school, G-R-A-Y. He is a 14-year-old student here at the high school. Again, he has been taken into custody. He will be charged with murder, and he will be tried as an adult and handled as an adult. As the sheriff mentioned,
14 years old.
Wasn't supposed to have a gun anyway.
14 years old. Let's go to, this is a classmate retelling basically the story of what was going on in there. So let's listen to what, is this another 14-year-old? I think so.
Yeah, it's another 14-year-old.
Let's listen to what they have to say here.
I started running. He started shooting like 10 times. He shot at least 10 times. And then I ran to the back of the classroom. I dived behind the desk, and my teacher had got in front of me like he was guarding. But like the gunshots were so close to me, like my ears started ringing real bad. Like the whole classroom was smoking, like and everything. And then when he finally got out of the classroom, my teacher started barricading the door with desks and bookshelves and all that. And then I had got up. I had saw one of my classmates on the ground bleeding so bad. And then when I had moved myself to the other side of the room because the bookshelf I was hiding behind, it was right in front of the door. So I had moved to the other side, to like this side with my friend. And I was checking on my other friend because he got grazed in his leg. And then there was a white girl that was in front of me. She got shot in her leg and stuff. And then my other friend got shot in her stomach. And it was just so sad, stuff like that.
Okay.
Imagine being 14 and having to retell that story. I want to take a different focus on this. It's a tragedy. Todd did a good job on this show yesterday because it broke after our show of taking the time to pray for the victims and their families, and we still should do that. But I want to focus on the real issue here, and I want to go straight to the FBI segment. So bring that up for me, Royce. This is the FBI. We'll read it here. Just in, the FBI has admitted the Georgia school shooter was on their radar as he made threats to shoot up the school already, but they failed to act on it. Let's read the statement from the FBI. Let's open this up. FBI responded earlier today to Appalachia High School following reports of an active shooter. Throughout the day, FBI personnel have been coordinating with and supporting local and state law enforcement. The FBI will dedicate all available resources. Oh, we feel so great about that. Here we go. In May of 2023, The FBI's National Threat Operations Center received several anonymous tips about online threats to commit a school shooting at an unidentified location and time. The online threats contained photographs of guns. Within 24 hours, the FBI determined the online post originated in Georgia, and the FBI's Atlanta field office referred the information to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office for action. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office located a possible subject, a 13-year-old male at the time, and interviewed him and his father. The father stated he had hunting guns in the house, but the subject did not have unsupervised access to them. The subject denied making the threats online. Jackson County alerted local schools for continued monitoring of the subject. At that time, there was no probable cause for arrest or to take any additional law enforcement action on the local, state, or federal level. How many times does a shooting happen and we find out, like clockwork, they're batting 1,000, that the FBI was tracking these people before they actually do it? How, if you believe that the FBI allowed this to happen, comment yes or no in the chat right now. I don't see how you can say that the FBI isn't at fault here for not doing their job across the board. How many times is the FBI literally like, oh, yeah, you know what? As a matter, oh, it does ring a bell. We interviewed that guy a year ago or so because he made threats about shooting up a school, and then you do nothing, and then guess what? He shoots up a school. At what point do you say that these agencies are allowing this stuff to happen? Somebody help me out here.
Well, you can either plan, investigate, or you can react. And that's what the DOJ, that's what the three-letter organizations, that's what they're doing right now. The kid that shot Trump, they knew it. They knew about him. They knew about him way ahead. They chose to react. This 14-year-old kid, they knew about him. They could have investigated it. They could have kept him under surveillance. But no, they chose to react. And if you choose to react in these situations, it's too late. Somebody's either dead or there are lots of people are dead. And so it's time for them to go. Like it's over. It's time for them to go.
Here's the worst part. And this is where I believe criminal charges need to be brought up on the leaders of the school. This is the most chilling part. And so I remind you to hit that like button, hit that share button, because people need to hear this. If you've got kids in school, you need to hear this of what's going on in public schools. Let's go to it. All right, here we go. This is CNN reporting on this. Go down. Let's just read it. Appalachia High School received a phone call that morning, warned about shootings. One more time. The high school received the morning of warnings that a school shooting was going to happen that day. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's see if we've got something from this. Law enforcement officials in Georgia say Appalachia High School received a phone call this morning warning that there would be shootings at 5 schools and that Appalachia would be the first. These people got a phone call, said, hey, somebody's fixing to shoot up your school today. Oh, thank you very much. Hang up the phone. They still allow school to happen and they do nothing. Whoever made the decision needs to go to jail.
Period.
Sorry. That's how
Period.
I feel. If you agree with that, comment yes or no.
Period.
You are the principal of the high school. You receive a phone call. Maybe it's anonymous. Maybe it's a prank or not. It doesn't matter if it's a prank or not. If you receive a phone call the morning before school starts that your school is going to be shot up, you close down the school out of abundance of caution because that is your responsibility as the principal of the high school. So it just makes you wonder, man. It makes you wonder. Like, at what point is this crap intentional? Go ahead.
And can I add, Not only should everybody that was involved with the FBI in investigating this kid should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, the person that received these phone calls, that safety officer or whatever, should be processed to the full extent of the law. But we got to remember, this kid was 14 years old. He was 14 years old. The parents need to be in cuffs right now.
Well, I mean, Todd, I think also what's going on here is there was a disastrous breakdown of security protocols and communication here. And we've seen it before with school shootings in the past of who's in charge, who's communicating with who. A lot of times when there's an active school shooter inside the schools, when you have county, state, city police officers showing up, everybody's always moving around trying to figure out who's in charge of the tactical situation there. I think what was happening here is between the DOJ, the FBI, the schools, the county, there's no communication going on with them when they're tracking all these people. They're not letting them know, because if the school had known that he had made threats in the past and just gotten that call that morning, it could have been that they shut down the school because, okay, this kid's already done it in the past. We should take this serious. I don't know why they didn't take it serious and shut down the school like Graham was just saying, but I just think they're not communicating with each other.
Well, thank God that there was an actual SRO inside the school, because this could have been a whole lot worse.
Oh, absolutely.
Like a whole lot worse. But again, I have to go back, and I'm sorry. I've said this on my show. I've said this on this show. We don't have a gun problem. We don't have a politician problem. We have a parent problem. I have 5 teenage boys that have grown up and graduated high school in my house. If one of them was 14 years at the age of 14 years old and was so emotionally distressed that homicide crossed their mind, as their father, I would have known about it immediately and done something about it. This is piss poor parenting, and they belong in prison. Period.
I don't disagree, because there are days that I got 2 teenage boys now, and there are days where they want to stay in their room all day, every day, things like that, right? And we forbid it. We don't allow it to happen. No, from the hours of this and this, you're not even allowed in your room. Like you're not going to be on your games. You're not going to be talking to your friends and that stuff. You're going to be here. We're going to ask you about your day. It's going to annoy the crap out of you, I know. But I don't care. There is no way that these kids are able to pull this stuff off without daily decisions of the parents to be negligent at best.
100%.
To be negligent
100%.
at best, an accomplice at worst, an enabler at worst, but negligent parenting when your kids get a certain age. Oh, they're teenagers now. Oh, I'm more on easy street, because they come home at the end of the day, they go straight to their rooms, because that's what most teenagers want to do. They want to go straight to their rooms. They don't want to look at mom and dad. They don't want to talk to mom and dad. They want to talk to their friends. They want to listen to their music. They want to play their video games or whatever. Parents have to force their children to do the things that they don't want to do. The teenage years are weird years, man. They're moody. They're irrational. They're borderline schizophrenic psychos from all their hormones going crazy. It's your job as a parent to walk them through that and to not be their buddy when they need a parent.
I'm interested to see in the coming days if the parents were proactive and they try to get their son help, because obviously he was interviewed by the FBI in the past for making threats about shooting up a school. If they went out and got him some help mentally or something, that church, whatever, I'm just interested to see if they were just proactive with it.
How is he even allowed back into a public school after
that's my question?
We
had a kid in my high school. They found a kill list in his locker of people that he wanted to kill. And we never saw that kid again.
Same.
I
don't know if we're talking about the same kid, but
that kid was black bagged and took to an undisclosed location.
I remember that day. I was a senior.
I don't know what happened to that guy.
I was a senior when that happened.
He was never seen from again.
No.
Or heard from. What happened to those days?
I couldn't tell you where he is right now.
What happened to those days? And that was just somebody wrote something on a sheet of paper like, I'd kill this guy first, that person next, da-da-da-da-da. somebody at the school said, hey, you might want to check locker 37, or something like that. So the school went doop, 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 straight up in there, unlocked it, because they didn't need permission for that crap back then, unlocked the locker, look in it, and then boom, they found it. That kid was gone.
Yeah.
Like, all I heard was, did you hear they found a kill list in so-and-so's locker? And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, wow. And they were like, whoa. And they were dead. Or not dead. They were gone. Like, that was it. Poof, ninja vanished.
We should talk about the chief of safety at this school, this guy, who A, knew that the kid had a past of threatening to shoot schools, and B, probably knew about this phone call beforehand. This guy right here.
Yeah. So is he the one? What are you saying? He's the one that received it?
I don't know if he's the one who received it. Meet John Skinner.
Meet John Skinner.
Go ahead.
No, finish out. You were doing good. Do it.
Meet John Skinner, the chief safety and security officer at Broward County Schools in Georgia. If the school received a call, I assume this guy knew.
Yeah. Basically, the question is,
the school received a call in the morning warning that there would be a shooting. Where was John?
Doesn't this lead back to possibly the reason why they didn't do anything is because our society now is so afraid to do something with kids' feelings and tampons in boys' bathrooms and she and all that crap that they got going on.
Dude, I will tell you this. I don't know if Graham was talking about the same kid that did it when I was a senior.
Don't say names.
I'm not going to say names, but like I was late to school that morning, and when I got there, the entire school was on the football field. And I had no idea what was going on. Yeah. And, somebody grabbed me, explained to me what happened. But, I hate to say this jokingly, all right, and please don't get your sensitive pants on. But I know guys that would call bomb threats into the school just so they didn't have to go to school. Because you make one phone call and say, somebody's going to do this, they would shut the whole, nobody would go to school.
Todd had questionable friends before we met. Let's just be clear.
I didn't say friends. I said I knew people.
His circle of
friends.
people got better.
I wonder how many times that they receive calls like that.
And every one of those phone calls should be taken seriously, because here's the thing. The one time you don't take it seriously, this happens.
Correct. And that's the point is, it's their job. Okay, and I'm going to go full Alex Jones here in a minute. Why is it happening? Because it's an election season. That's why. That's why it's happened. That's why you are seeing immediate FBI drop the ball, immediate local sheriffs drop the ball, immediate the safety officer at the school drop the ball, immediate the principals and everybody at the school drop the ball. You had a threat the morning of, before the kids even got there. And you let them come to school the morning of. It's election season. And here's why. KJP gets asked about this. And guess what the Dems are doing? They're calling for a weapons ban. Go figure.
Of course they are.
As the president has said time and time again, this is not normal. This is not normal. Students and teachers deserve to know that their schools are safe. They should focus on learning, not lockdowns. While the president and vice president have taken historic action to reduce gun violence, more must be done to keep our schools and communities safe. We continue to call on Congress to do something, We need universal background checks. We need to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, require safe storage of firearms, invest in violence prevention programs, and pass a national red flag law.
Pause. There it is. Pass a national red flag law. Okay. No questions whatsoever of what happened with the FBI, what happened with the school resource or school safety officer, what happened with the local sheriff's office, what happened to where did all these breakdowns take place? No, it is immediate to the talking points. That is the Democrats. And it doesn't just stop there. We've got another one after this. So what's the next one? I forgot what this Chris
Mulray.
Oh,
This is Harry Sisson's
Harry
friend.
Sisson's love partner here. Let's hear what this moron has to say.
Members of Congress, there was a mass shooting at a high school in Georgia today. 4 people were killed, 30 more were injured.
Can we just point out that he's in his pajamas? Can we point out that the lady boy is in his pajamas? Can we point it out? Just, I mean, wow.
In his car at the gas station. He felt like this was the best place to
filling
do it.
up. Like where is this generation? Play it.
Please come down here to Georgia and explain to families to their face why there's nothing you can do. Please. Go argue with them about gun control, say taking away guns from good guys doesn't work, and then when they look at you with pain in their eyes and say, what are we going to do? You say nothing and walk away. Do it, I dare you. I'm so sick of this. There has to be something we can do. There is. There's a bunch of things we can do, but Republicans are bought out by the NRA, so they won't do anything. In Georgia, we have a $10 billion surplus with a B, billion. We're dominated by Republicans. We're one of the only states that hasn't expanded Medicare. We can't do anything for our children. It is easier to get a gun in Georgia than it is to get weed, I swear to God.
Well,
that high school's not that far from me. I
because
could go
weed's illegal
10
in a lot of
that
places.
way.
I don't
There's
know.
a giant gun store with Confederate flags, Trump merch. I put $50 right now. I walk in there. I could buy a gun with no ID. $50. I'm so sick of this.
He's only
man.
betting
Please.
$50 because
Please do
A,
something,
that's
please.
all he's
These
got,
are human
and
lives
B,
at
he
stake.
knows he's
This
wrong.
shit is not a game. It's not a game. Everyone running around on social media. Oh,
All right,
people
pause.
are
I
fucking
can't listen to this idiot anymore. All right, Kamala Harris at her rally. Oh, go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, can I just again elaborate?
We got 12 minutes to finish
the
this up.
gun laws that we have right now would have prevented a 14-year-old from buying a gun, and he still got one. So
Correct.
obviously,
a 14-year-old cannot
point.
buy a
Good
gun.
point.
So obviously, laws are not helping.
Correct. Again, I believe that this is election season, and that's why they allowed this to happen. If you agree with that, comment yes or no in the chat right now. But let's get...
And hold real quick, Graham. And the left's argument is always go after the guns.
Yes.
But the legal gun owners who are responsible, and we use them for hunting, for target practice, for protection for our own families. Look what's happening in Colorado. All those gangs taking over the apartments and whatnot. Right. You're trying to take away our guns and leaving us unprotected to gangs coming up and taking over a town.
Oh, don't worry.
Man. You got something coming if you try to take my guns. That's for sure.
Again, it's election season, and they need more talking points. So the only way that they can push getting rid of guns is for a shooting to happen. Kamala Harris at her rally just yesterday, here she goes pushing to take away guns and pushing red flag laws. Play it.
Act. Let us finally pass an assault weapons ban and universal background checks and red flag laws.
Pause.
Because
to remind everybody what red flag laws are, that is what it opens the door to is if somebody's got a problem with you, like me, for example, like you guys could say, hey, you know that Graham Allen seemed kind of unhinged on his episode today. I think he's a danger to himself and others. And underneath red flag laws, they could come to my house, confiscate all my guns because they think that I'm unstable and all of this stuff. This is scary, scary, communist, third world banana republic type stuff.
You know who else that red law would affect? If you are a veteran right now drawing VA for PTSD, your guns are gone.
Done. You are done.
Your guns are gone.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's move on here. But I want to talk about, yet again, the fakeness that is Kamala Harris, and that is her rally. Colin Rugg reports that 12 buses were spotted leaving Kamala Harris's event in New Hampshire, suggesting many people in attendance were bussed in. The video comes after local reports claim that Harris was bussing people in from Massachusetts. It's a New Hampshire event. We're getting listener calls, eyewitness accounts that buses en route are coming in from Massachusetts. Lots of yellow buses from a Yankee line. I counted at least half a dozen of them. Let's play the video here.
Kamala Harris is in New Hampshire. It kind of became news this week. No details. Northampton, New Hampshire, at a brewery, Northampton. And yet and it's a New Hampshire event. Northampton happens to be in New Hampshire. We're getting listener calls, eyewitness accounts that buses on Route 1 are coming in from Massachusetts, full of Massachusetts people, one would presume, going to the event. Sue Polidor, one of our listeners, witnessing this on Route 1 this morning. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jack. I'm so happy to
All
have
right,
an
you get
appointment
it. Look
in
at all the buses, right? Okay, so do we
Where are
have the
flyers
thing?
that people are getting in Massachusetts? Why can't we see that? How are these people? Where are they coming from? Who are these people?
I don't know. What's the next thing we got here? I can't remember what the next one was.
Oh, this is their.
Oh,
being
yeah,
told
yeah,
to
yeah. So
say
this
that.
is from Stephen Chung from the Trump campaign. The scoop is Kamala Harris campaign literally told people at the rally they cannot leave because the buses to get people in and out, they're not operational for another 30 minutes. They literally have to announce it to them at the rally. Hey, thanks for being bussed in. You can't leave yet because the buses aren't here to take you back to your actual home. If you believe that Kamala Harris's entire campaign is a fake, comment yes or no in the chats right now. Let's go to CNN. CNN is telling you that the honeymoon is over and that this fake stuff is actually going on. They're in a full panic over the polls. Let's play it.
You look at the white voters without college degrees. This is a Trump-based constituency, obviously. You see his huge numbers with this group.
Pause. Let me read it. All right. Choice for president. Georgia, 71 to 27. Arizona, 65 to 31. 64 to 31. Nevada, 63 to 31. Pennsylvania, 53 to 36. Michigan, 54 to 41. Wisconsin. Wow. Keep playing it.
You see that this is a trouble sign for Harris. She also, in a place like Georgia, is not doing well with white college-educated voters. She probably wants to make up some ground with white college-educated voters across these battlegrounds as well.
An important gut check for both campaigns and on multiple levels in multiple states is what's coming out here. It's great to see you, David.
An important gut check for both campaigns. That doesn't.
Where's our gut check at?
Where's the gut check? How about this gut check? The Trump campaign reports over 130 million raked in for the campaign in August. So the Trump train is running, people, but we cannot give up. We cannot let these people steal it from us. I believe that this is not the last thing that's going to come up. I believe that there are going to be more things that are going to happen. There's going to be black swan events that are happening. I do believe they're going to take a shot at President Trump again. And unfortunately, I believe that our children are not safe. I've said it once. I've said it a million times. If you have the ability to homeschool your children, you need to homeschool them now, because I do not trust the public school system. I don't. I especially don't trust the FBI. And unfortunately, you can't trust the safety resource officers in your schools either. I wonder if anything's going to happen to Tim Walz with this $250 million COVID fraud. Probably not. Kamala Harris, her crowds are fake. They're literally bussing people in. I wonder if we'll report on that. I wonder if we'll even have a debate. How much money we want to put on Kamala getting COVID before the debate? How much money you want to put on it? $100 for the crew?
I wouldn't take that bet.
$100 for the crew?
I wouldn't take that
Kamala
bet.
gets COVID before the debate?
So you think something's going to happen to her that she's going to have to back out?
I would be shocked if because reports have come in that she is vehemently agreed to do the debate.
Yep.
What if she gets COVID right before? Comment in the chat. Let me know what you think. You think that's possible? Think it's possible Kamala gets the big old vid before the debate? I think it's possible. Comment yes or no in the chat.
I mean, we saw when that reporter asked her how she was prepping for the debate, and she was on her phone with the earphones on. So, yeah, I mean,
that was awesome. She had the earphones in, and she was like this.
She was like this.
Earphones are in too.
I mean, come on.
All right. Okay. Last thing to get ready for. David Pollack joins us. ESPN College Hall of Famer, man. I mean, David Pollack, dude. Like,
I know, man. I'm pumped.
I mean, what a one. as far as sports goes, what an amazing guy, but what an amazing Christian dude as well. Show David Pollock some love in the chat. But before he comes on, what a great way to lead into Dear America's first ever sports pick'ems. Then to talk about the fact that Brittany Mahomes came under scrutiny for her support of Donald Trump. And although she has not publicly came out and go, I'm voting for Trump, she has stood by it and basically told people to go get bent. Well, Donald Trump had this to say. I want to thank beautiful Brittany Mahomes for so strongly defending me and the fact that MAGA is the greatest and most powerful political movement in the history of our now failing country. With crime and illegal immigration totally out of control, inflation ravaging all Americans, in a world that is laughing at the stupidity of our hapless leaders, it's nice to see someone who loves our country and wants to save it from doom. What a great couple. See you both at the Super Bowl. So Donald Trump is making his prediction that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to make a run for the first three-peat in NFL.
Well, it sure as heck
history.
ain't going to be mine and Tony's Cowboys. That's
no,
for sure.
Cowboys are out. Cowboys are out.
Not even close.
And then, of course, I made a comment like, am I a Chiefs fan now? But either way, speaking of picks, we got to get into our final sponsor before we bring in David Pollock for our first ever Dear America Pick'ems, and that's our new sponsor at Prize Picks. Ladies and gentlemen, Prize Picks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy so that your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. All you got to do is download the Prize Picks app today and use the code GRAHAM, that's GRAHAM, and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code GRAHAM on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive $50. It's guaranteed. Go download the Prize Pick app today. Promo code GRAHAM. All right, I'm super excited for this next thing. It is go time.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, in the chat, welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. David Pollock himself. Woo, there he is. David, what's going on, dude? How are you? Oh, no, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We're muted. No. We're muted. No.
You might have to go to the computer. And
he's muted on our thing down there. There
no, he's not. You hush.
There he is.
Let's go. Hey, Graham, I thought you were about to say, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. I thought you were going that route. But,
I felt some Pentecostal coming up right before you came on. All right. David, we're so honored to have you on here. And as sports nerds ourselves, we're so pumped. Dude, you have such you are a Georgia legend, although everybody knows how I feel about Georgia football.
Yeah, no kidding.
Dude, first round pick in the NFL. I mean, you were a beast. You still are a beast. Obviously, you're a college football Hall of Famer. Dude, I grew up watching you, man. Like it's so cool.
I get to hear his voice every day on my NCAA game. Every day I get to hear his voice.
Dude, I love it. I love it.
Hey, how much do I hate on you on the game?
Not much. I win often.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a big fan of my play on the game.
My high school players come in all the time because I coach high school football, and they're like, Coach, all you do is hate on me on the game. I'm like, well, that's because you suck. Like, I wouldn't be hating on you if you sucked. If you were winning, you wouldn't be hated on as much. But no, I appreciate y'all having me on. Hey, talk a little football. This is the best time of year, man. Whether you're a Bama fan, Graham, like if that's your
I had to do it to you.
Whether you're a Georgia fan if you're a Georgia fan, like you've got as many losses in the last 3 seasons as you have national championships. So it's pretty good to be a Georgia fan nowadays.
Wow. 5-1. 5-1 against a certain team, though. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That was a shot across the ball right there.
We all know Jamison Williams and Mechie are not hurt. You don't win that game.
All right, we got to get to picks first before we get into all that. Todd, let's not create an enemy out of David on his first,
I'm sorry. He started it.
Appearance here on the show.
He started
all
it.
right, so we're going to talk about the best games for this weekend, and we're going to keep a running track. I'm going to keep track of who I pick, and at the end of the season, we're going to have to figure out something, like the winner gets something. Well, we're going to figure it out here across the board. But first game up to discuss is Colorado versus Nebraska. I'm actually really excited for this game. Is Nebraska finally on the cusp of getting out of this curse that Nebraska has been under? And is Colorado actually a legitimate team this year? David, as the pro here, what are your thoughts on this game?
So just making sure y'all can't pick all my picks, right? Like y'all got to do your own picks. And
I'll go ahead. I'm writing it down right now. Which one I'm picking, and I got it on the paper here. So
okay. Just making sure. All right,
it's wrote down.
Okay, all right, Graham. Here's what I love about this matchup. Last year there was a little bit of beef, like Matt Rule's first year, Deion's first year. A lot of excitement with both these squads. Matt Rule was standing on the Buffalo. Shedeur Sanders didn't like it. Like told him about it after the game. So there's a little bit of this, which I always enjoy, by the way. Give me more of that in college football. So Dylan Raiola was a top 10 player in all of high school football a year ago. He's the quarterback now for Nebraska. This is the first time they've had a guy at that spot that makes everybody around him better. And I think Nebraska's just got a little bit more balance. Like when you look at Shedeur and company with Colorado last week, man, a ton of passing, 445. Their leading rusher had 20 yards. Their defense was on the field for almost 40 minutes of a 60-minute game. Like, I think Nebraska's a little bit more complete. So I think Nebraska's going to win, but I think this is going to be a great football game.
All right. So I wrote it down here. I got Nebraska too. That's what I got. I got Nebraska. Top with this thing there. I love it. Tony, what are your thoughts?
I picked Colorado, man.
Woo!
I picked Colorado because I like Coach Prime. I think when he talks and when he preaches, he inspires them to play. I think they play his heart out.
That's true. But you shut down Travis Hunter. You shut down Colorado.
I'm not saying they're not underdogs. I can see you guys' argument with Nebraska, but I'm going with Colorado, man.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Also, don't be afraid in the chat. Give us your picks as well. We'd like to know who you are. I see a lot of Nebraska.
Hey, Colorado's the
there.
favorite by 7 points. So they're definitely the favorite for a reason. It's not just Travis Hunter though. Jimmy Horn too. He's a bad man. Good. He had 200 yards receiving week one. Like, they got
even better.
Skill
I'm taking Colorado there.
All right, Royce, do you want to do a pick? Since
man.
you let
I have no idea.
Royce has no idea what we're talking about.
Goal! That's Royce over here. All right, okay. So we got Nebraska 3 with the long shot Colorado on Tony's side. All right, let's move to the next game here, which is Tennessee versus North Carolina, NC State. This is I'm pumped about this one too. But David, as the professional, lead us in here. What are your thoughts?
This is an awesome showdown. NC State has a new quarterback, Grayson McCall, who transferred from Coastal Carolina. Really, really good. They were very ungood week one. Okay, that's the nicest thing I can say about NC State. They played an inferior opponent. They should have destroyed them. They looked really bad. So interested to see the bounce back. They got a bunch of transfers all over the field with NC State. But go to Tennessee side. Tennessee's got a quarterback. Okay, this dude is legit. His name is Nico. I'm not going to pronounce his last name.
Yeah, good luck.
I've practiced it a little bit, but I'm not good at it. But he was one of the prize recruits 2 years ago. Big, tall, superstar. Like, this guy has a good chance to this year be in the Heisman Trophy race. That's how good he is. So I'm going to take Tennessee. I'm going to take their offense. You know, NC State struggling week one gives me a little bit concerned, but I do think NC State's a really good team and they could keep it close. But Tennessee's offense is extraordinary.
All right, I got Tennessee, but I do have a major bounce back from NC State. So I do think they keep this more competitive, but I think come late third, fourth quarter, I think Tennessee starts running away with it, and they win big against NC State. That's my pick. Todd also is a Rocky Top pick. All right, Tony, who you got?
I got Tennessee also.
Tennessee across the board on this one. All right.
That means go ahead and bet NC State because we're all going to be wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you're a betting person, go bet NC State. All right, who we got next?
Next up, we've got Georgia Tech
Ooh, I like Georgia Tech and Syracuse at 12 o'clock game at Syracuse. ACC here. David, lead us in this. I got thoughts, but lead us in.
I just wonder if I put you on the spot right away, if y'all could name a player on Syracuse's squad.
I could not. I'm just being honest with you right now. Listen, it's the most honest I know how to be. Like,
I appreciate that, Graham. I appreciate that a lot. Like, Syracuse is always an unknown squad. New coach, Fran Brown. He came from the University of Georgia, so I mean, Graham, you might want to jump on. But Kyle McCord is the quarterback for Syracuse. He was at Ohio State last year. He was their starting quarterback. So highly recruited kid. Syracuse can score. They're at home. I think this will be a better game than you think. Georgia Tech's offense, though, man, it's just cool. It's fun to watch. It's unique. It's got a bunch of ways to make you pay. I think their run game against Syracuse is the difference, and I think Georgia Tech wins.
Okay, all right. I got the big GT in this as well. I like what Georgia Tech is doing. Even Nick Saban said at the start of the college football season that Georgia Tech was his sleeper team to come out here. And so far, the greatest coach of all time has proven to be right. And then
he picked Florida State to beat him.
He did.
How'd that work out for him?
He did pick Florida State to beat him.
What happened
But I think they're on a really good roll right now. I think it's a tough fought game. I like Georgia Tech to keep it moving. Todd, I see you picking Syracuse.
I am.
Oh, okay. I like it, Todd.
I'm going Syracuse, man.
All right. Okay, so we've got
that dome. That dome will be rocking. That dome will be.
Yes, it
cool
will be.
We got some differences of opinion.
Honest to God, and I will say this: I think it was me and Seamus were the only people in America that picked Georgia Tech to beat Florida State.
That's not true. I wanted Georgia State to lose so bad.
Full transparency, I can't name a player on Georgia Tech either, but I'm picking Georgia Tech because of the way they played against Florida State.
Yeah,
I mean they did not quit, man. They just kept going at them.
Yeah.
I'm going with Georgia Tech.
There seems to be, that passion in this Georgia Tech team that they don't quit, man. They just keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yep, that's
and I respect that. All right, let's go. Is this game of the week up now? Oh no, it's not. This is Iowa State.
No.
All right, this is a 3:30 game. This is at Iowa. David, what's your insights here?
The Cy-Hawk Trophy on the line. Iowa State, man, they've been better in this matchup a bunch over the years, and they've lost 7 of the last 8. Like, Iowa just consistently wins this game, and Iowa is at home. If you watched Iowa week 1, you didn't recognize Iowa. So I want you to turn your blinders off. All you guys that love football and you've been watching Iowa, like where it takes 16 games to score 40 points. They scored 40 points in week 1.
Yeah.
New OC coming over. Like, it's a different style. They're going to throw the football. But I do think Iowa, with being at home early in the season, a little bit more offense, same old defense. I think this is a low-scoring game that could go either way. But I'll take the Hawkeyes at home.
All right, I actually this is my game that I'm gonna go the wild card on this. I'm gonna do Iowa State to break it, man. Finally punch through and get over the hump, and finally get this thing done. This is one of those games where I think it's fun to go for the upset. I'm going Iowa State. Todd, Iowa. That's all you got to say?
Iowa.
All right, Tony, what about you?
The home of the punter.
Well. I don't know anything about either one of these teams, but I'm taking the home team. That's all I can say, man.
What's gonna be really discouraging is when Tony has a better record than us, and he's like, I don't know a name, I don't know anything about these teams.
Tony moved here. Tony moved here from Oregon 2 years ago, so he's a Ducks guy.
I am a Ducks
and
fan.
So all the teams that are in like the southeastern area, even if they're not in the SEC, like he knows nothing about.
I live 10 minutes from Clemson. Haven't been to a home game yet. So that's all.
All right, okay. And the next one, ladies and gentlemen, is the game of the week. This is a noon game, which is Michigan, of course it is. Texas versus Michigan. I'm going to go ahead and write my pick down right here of what I think. But, David, what's your insights on this?
Man, this is the classic week 2 for me that, like, it's so hard. NC State and Tennessee's the same. Like, Michigan looked bad against Fresno. Texas looked like world beaters against Colorado State. So you naturally are like, Texas is way better. man, Michigan's been good for a reason. Like, they play great defense. They will punch you in the mouth. They're physical. Like, they're going to run the football. They can shorten the game. So just because Texas is a little bit more high flying, I don't think this is a runaway by any stretch. I think this is a flip 'em game. And Michigan being at home obviously is a great thing for them. I just trust Quinn Ewers' third year in the system. Third year with Sark. Like, he's got weapons on the outside that, listen, they're transfers and they're new. I worry about Texas and if they can run the football. I don't think they'll be able to do it against Michigan great, but when you have a quarterback in the system for that many years that's really comfortable with it and they're really good and they have weapons, Texas should win this football game. Michigan has a quarterback that was a former walk-on playing and another guy, that Alex Orji, that's finding his way. So, I don't know that they're solidified at that spot yet and know who they are. I think Michigan will keep it close, but I got to take Texas in the football game.
All right, yeah. So my pick is Texas, baby. I got
Where
Texas.
were you keeping that?
I was keeping it in my crotchal region over here, ready for it.
Thank God I can't see you. I didn't want to see that.
Yeah. So I agree. I think it's going to be a tough fought game, but here's what I know. Texas is basically trying to become Bama 2.0 by taking all of our transfer players. So I see Isaiah Bond, as much as I'm upset
Big
that
game
he
for
left,
Isaiah Bond.
I see Isaiah Bond becoming wide receiver 1 for Texas in this game. I got Texas by 10 plus in this one.
I got Texas by 14.
Yeah. So
Sark is he's an offensive mind. He's a genius. What he did at Alabama was second to probably Lane Kiffin, but Quentin Ewers is a freaking stud. Isaiah Bond is a stud. Texas is that crowd is going to be quiet at the end of the first quarter. They're going to be quiet.
I don't know if it's first quarter.
Hold on. You know what? I understand why y'all feel this way, because Texas came to Tuscaloosa last year and said, "Wop, pop." So y'all are used to seeing that up close and personal.
Now, hold on. We had 3 touchdowns called back and 4 picks from Jalen Milroe in that first game. That's all I'm saying. We lost, but everybody acts like it was a beatdown. It was 10 points when it's all said and done. But
I guess y'all are still riding that train because it was so good last year when it came to town. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, man.
No. I just think that Michigan. I really believe Michigan's going to have. Because of the people they lost, because of transfer portal. I mean, literally one of their top safeties came over to Alabama after winning a national championship. What's his name? Sab? Isn't that his name?
And had 2 picks.
Yeah, I think that they've just lost so many. I think they're just I just don't see them maintaining that.
That's 100%. It's 100% reasonable. Everybody's new at Michigan. I understand what you're saying. Will Johnson's one of the best corners in the country, by the way. Side note, number 2, Will Johnson versus your boy Isaiah Bond. That will be one of the best matchups in all of college football. So I look forward to seeing who wins that. So, but it will be. I think it'll be close though. Tony, what you got, bro?
I'm going with Texas. And I think Sark's going to go in there and prove that he belongs in the SEC and prove that he's going to put a smackdown on Michigan because Michigan is coming off their national championship. And he's going to run up the score on them and just prove to everybody, dude, we're here, and you guys better watch out.
Texas wants, even though Michigan's Big Ten, Texas wants the SEC to know, hey, there's a new boss in town kind of thing. And so they got to get through Georgia and Bama to do that.
I know, but I think they're gonna a lot of people are gonna watch this game and say, dude, Texas is for real.
I think they got a good opportunity. All right. Last but not least, David, while you're still here, even though both our teams have a tune-up game this weekend, I want to hear what you would like to see from Georgia, because although it was a quality win and a good win against Clemson, I think we all can agree Clemson was ranked much higher than they should have been coming into this thing. So I'm curious, is there anything you want to see Georgia establish or work on in this tune-up game that you guys got this weekend?
Well, here's what I love about Georgia, man. Consistently, and Bama did it last year with Texas. I love when teams play great teams out of conference. Texas and Michigan, we just talked about. It's so cool to see Clemson and Georgia week 1. And I think you find out more about your team when you play somebody that challenges you. It's nauseating probably for all of college football, but it's like the next freak for Georgia every year. If you watched last week, Nate Frazier, number 3 at running back, the next dude. Like he's an absolute dude. Travis Etienne comes back this week after a suspension. I'm curious to see the 1-2 punch at running back because I think it might be the best in the country when it's all said and done. And then some of the other young cats are going to get to play, which KJ Bolden you saw last week on a big stage playing meaningful minutes. So I think this is the game where you're probably going to get a lot of guys in the football game, and you get to see some of those young studs like a Frazier, like a KJ Bolden that continue to get reps, and then all of a sudden you look up down the road and you're bringing some of those young cats along and they're making big time plays.
Yep. All right, Todd, what do you want to see from our Tide this weekend?
Well, I mean, after this game, we got one of those out of conference games in Wisconsin, and I hope DeBoer keeps the Nick Saban thing going, where let's win, but let's not show too much because we got Georgia coming up really, really, really soon. I do want to see Ryan Williams more on the field. I mean, that 17-year-old, he's a freaking stud, bro. Like, he's a stud. Jalen Milroe, you could kind of tell that first game, he's maturing a little bit. You know, he's not as antsy as he was last season. The offensive line looked pretty good. The question mark for Alabama is not going to be offense. You're going to have to score 30 to beat Alabama this year. The question is going to be that defense. You know, can the defense without Nick Saban match up? But here's the kicker. Nick Saban will be in the house in Tuscaloosa, dedicating the field. I'm going to be there. I can't wait. Roll Tide.
Hey, Graham, can I put David on the spot?
Sure.
Can you please explain to me what happened to the Oregon Ducks this last week, man? I mean, but we lost Bo Nix. We got Dylan Gabriel. I thought they were going to keep firing all cylinders. I did not recognize them playing against Idaho. They looked like a high school team playing against them. What happened to them?
It was not good.
It was not good at all.
Again, it's week one, Tony, so sometimes we got to pump the brakes. But here's the thing. Y'all are beat up on the offensive line. You started a walk-on at center. Like, there's shuffling around that needs to be able to done. Dylan Gabriel, first time in the system. But I think you do miss Bo Nix's ability to run the football.
Oh, absolutely.
I think you'll run Dylan Gabriel some, but just not a lot because he's a little bit slighter build. But here's the good thing you see about Oregon that's going to match up in every game. Their defense is legit. It's nasty. You got the Uwe Ungalale linebacker, not the quarterback, who's a beast. They're good in the front seven. I think they got the best 1-2 punch at safety maybe in the country. So the Ducks will grow on offense, but the defense is going to be great. But I definitely want to see them create some more running lanes. They average 2 yards a carry. That's not good. You've got to be able to run the football so now you have the balance and you can use your playmakers because they got probably the best 1-2 punch at wide receiver in the country too.
And that's why he's the expert. See that?
I have
my mind at ease. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I've got an outside the box for you, a question for you, David. Where do you see the future of college football with this NIL stuff and the transfer portal, which I call free agency? But where do you see college football moving forward with all of this money being tied into it?
2 minutes before you got a hard out, he asked you a 30-minute question. All right, let's go.
We'll make it quick. First of all, name, image, and likeness, and the transfer portal has changed the game. Obviously, people are getting paid now to be in school. We're moving towards AFC and NFC, two divisions. SEC and Big Ten are the two big playmakers. I think we all eventually at some point get to those like two sides. Everybody's on two sides, and everybody's getting paid. There's caps on what you're getting paid. There's guardrails put in place so these coaches can sleep a little bit better. But it's changed the game for sure. But here's one thing too. All the people that want to complain about NIL and the transfer portal, and I hate watching college football because of that. It's also the reason that we have so much parity now. Because at Alabama, y'all's school, perfect example, Reuben Foster and all y'all's great players just sat behind people for 2 years and then all of a sudden come in, kick the crap out of people and go be a first-round pick. Now that doesn't happen anymore because they're going somewhere else to get paid and to play right away. So there's more parity than ever. More teams are in it now with a 12-team access playoff. Like, we can pick 25, 30 teams to start a season to be in the college football playoff conversation. That is freaking awesome. Like, that is great for the game. So I know there's a lot of things that come with it that's a little bit of a headache, but there's also some good things.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that.
And last thing I want to say about what I want to see from Bama before David's got to go is I would like to actually see less of Ryan Williams. I'd like to see more of these people that we don't have a lot of tape on. I'd like to see Jeremy Bernard get worked in the mix, Kobe Prentice, Kendrick Law, our 6'9" Caleb Odom freshman or whatever to come in there.
Boy.
Because I want, by the time week 5 to get here, I want them to worry about a bunch of receivers, not just one receiver, Georgia. And I want to see that 1-2 punch more of Justice
Hayes and Jam
Miller.
Baby.
David, man, you're awesome. This is the first of many. Next week, we'll have to do a recap on who did what and who had the best save.
If Tony smashes us all, I'm not coming back, bro.
I'm gonna text you.
I'm gonna be
Saturday.
5-0, man. Yep.
Anyway, thanks so much, man, for coming. Hey, where can people go to find out everything that you're doing? Real quick before you head out.
Yeah, your boy Royce is helping me out. So, like, I got a YouTube channel. Just listen, we're just gonna talk college football, man. No ifs, ands, or buts. No holding back. Just tell you all the stuff that's going on in college football. But the main story is preview games, recap games. If you love college football, you'll love the channel. I promise.
I love it. All right, everybody, please go check out David. Please go support him, everything he's doing. He'll be back next Thursday for Dear America College Pick'em. There's his YouTube channel for you right there. David, fantastic. Thanks for joining us, man. We know you got to head out. We'll see you same time next week.
Thanks for
coming. See you guys. Appreciate y'all.
See you,
All
bud.
right, man. Later. What a thing.
Awesome.
Can we get a round of applause for David Pollitt right there? Who would have ever thought that the rednecks on Dear America would be talking college football with David Pollitt?
I was just trying to understand the whole time. I had no idea who or what you guys were talking
By
about.
the time we're done, you're going to be a football maestro.
It's okay, Royce. You have beard. You're okay.
Yeah, Royce has beard.
I'm going to say something to all the chat because I know we went a little bit off what we usually do with the political stuff. But what you guys don't understand, and we talk about it before, during, and after the show, a lot of the stuff is super negative. We have to research a bunch of stuff. Like this whole thing with the shooting, with the school shooting, that's all a big downer. I mean, a lot of us can't just turn it off and just walk away from it.
Yeah.
And
Y'all, that was just as much for our sanity as anything else.
Something like this, bringing David in where we can finish off on a good note before the weekend.
Yeah.
It makes the show so much more
I'll be
enjoyable.
more the Graham you guys love. If you don't like it, shut your freaking mouth and leave. Like, I don't care. Like that's why we do the show. That's why we did the show before David came on, so we could have fun and hang out with you guys. 10,000 plus people across all platforms were still here hanging out, talking about college football. So shut it, Stu. Anyway, we love college football. Sorry, don't care.
We do.
If you got a problem about it, write about it, and I'm just going to delete it anyway. Love you. Anyway, let's pray this thing out, and then let's get into super questions. Let's go, Todd. Pray us out.
Father, we just thank you for a good week. Lord, I just ask that as we roll into the weekend, that you keep everybody safe, that you put your hand of protection on every single person, on every single listener, every single person that's watching this show right now. Lord, if there is somebody out there right now that does not know you, that has never felt your presence, that has never felt the true love, the true grace and mercy that is fresh and new for them every single day, or if there's an individual out there that used to know you but has stepped far away from you, Father, I just ask that you meet those individuals exactly where they are and you reveal yourself to them, that you show these individuals who you truly are, that you are a loving, nurturing Father that will bring them into the fold, and that you will go out and leave the 99 just for that one. Father, we love you. We thank you for everything that you do for us, and for every single parent, every child, every faculty member right in Georgia where that evil thing occurred yesterday, that Father, you just bring them in, you hold them, you give them safety, you give them protection, Father, and as much as you can, that you give them comfort. Father, we love you. We thank you for all that you do. And all God's people said.
Amen. All right, let's do super questions.
All right, let me pull them up. Here we go.
From Lee and Jack, 2007, I thoroughly enjoy the show and have reconnected with Christ because of it. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, the new show with Todd Spears is fantastic. Thank you, Leanne. That's cool. From Dudley 99, Rambling Graham, next time go off on Starbucks, LOL.
I said I was sorry, okay?
All right.
Randall J. All, Greg is straight up spot in tune with God's Holy Spirit, holy boldness all the way. Keep fighting the good fight. For sure.
Yep, exactly.
Al Bender, 07. My father-in-law grew up in the same town as Tim Walz and knew his family. They don't have anything good to say about him. Very conservative town. Tim sold out and trying to sell out for our country. Yeah. Or sell out our country. Yeah.
True.
Bat Prame, the kid was in middle school last year, and if this information was never passed to the high school, they would have never known about that child. Now, the phone call part, I have no words for.
Okay. Well, either way, I think that's ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure your records get transferred over
They
to
do.
high school, right?
They do.
So wouldn't that be in the record? So I
Yep.
don't know if that's, I don't, yeah.
A Pool 91, look up Oxford, Michigan shooting. Reminds me a lot of this.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. Lux Lawless 1, single mom here. My children's father passed away March 12th. Do any of you awesome dads have any awesome advice for this single mom? I have a 12-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old son.
I'll take this one. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm the only one here who's not a dad.
I would say your daughter, you're okay. Your 13-year-old son, there's only so much you can do for him. He needs strong men in his life. Now, I'm not saying just go date a bunch of strong men, but, grandfather, uncle, somebody like that, a strong man for your son, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yes, try to find a positive figure for your son, 100%. I mean, I can't imagine, but it's very much needed for a young man growing up. So,
Well, and can I also say that obviously she's reaching out, and the fact that she's reaching out because she's concerned about her kids, it says a lot about the kind of parent you are, that you're worried and you're looking out for your children. So everything you're doing is 100% right. Just keep giving them love and support, and you'll come out 100% at the end. So
for sure.
All right, next.
Brandalorian, my freshman year, my high school and multiple other schools had a bomb threat. They called the households the night they got an email, but they still had school. Thankfully, nothing happened, and the guy was caught that day.
Okay, even still, good. At least they called every single house of the school, I guess, is what
And then
you're
you leave
saying.
it up to the parents.
Yeah, but I mean, do something. Like, they didn't do anything. And
Yeah.
so, anyway, all right. Anything else?
Yep, a few more.
Striker J, Todd, veteran with PTSD, are already denied
That
in New
is
York.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is
Cuomo
true.
did this, and in his elderly murder spree for COVID, Hochul wanted to add to it. Almost impossible to even get a shotgun, much less anything else.
Yeah, that is
sucks.
true. Yeah, they're going after the veterans big time.
Sandy Smith, I live in Maine with a red flag law, and we had a terrible shooting last October. It's not the laws, it's not the guns, it's mental health care and lack thereof. Warnings were there. It's always the case. It's
Yep.
always the case.
It's always that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, at this point, how can you think anything other than intentionality, negligence across the board? That's all I'm saying.
American Mermaid. I like that. I'm with Tony. Go Ducks. Go Cowboys. Congratulations on your new
Yeah,
grandchild.
there you go. You got a mermaid agreeing
That's
with
what
you.
I'm talking about.
Fantastic.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Fantastic.
matter. I love your name. Thank you for that.
Mermaid, go Ducks.
Yep. Go Ducks, go Cowboys. There you go.
Dr. Ivar. I'm guessing that's what that says. No surprise, Kamala Harris is pushing these red flag laws and many other communist policies. Her father was a Marxist professor. True. Very true.
Very true.
Jacob Yoho. Question for Tony. If Trump dressed like an S for Halloween and go to a rally, would
An
guys
essay.
be mad?
An essay.
Oh,
That's
an
what I'm
essay.
saying. An
Oh.
essay.
Oh,
Okay.
would guys be mad? I thought it because Harris makes fun of Southern people. That's good. I like that.
No, actually, I think it's
He
hilarious.
walked out with a sombrero and be like, "Oh, la, la."
Have you guys seen those?
That
Have
would
you guys
be
seen those? I thought those.
awesome.
I've seen those parties where people dress up like essays, gangsters, and whatnot. They show up to those parties and everybody's dressed like cholos and whatnot. I think they're hilarious, man. I think when people take the time to put effort to it, I think it's freaking
Well,
hilarious.
have
It
you ever
makes me
seen
laugh.
those videos of like people who dress up like Mexican and they go up to to normal people. They're like, do you find this offensive? They're like, oh yeah, that's so offensive. They go up to Mexicans and they're like, no, I love it.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen that
it's
video.
fun. I think
it's
it's
hilarious.
Fun, I think if they have the cojones to do it, go for it. It's hilarious.
Only whitey white people find that kind of stuff offensive.
Exactly.
I don't understand.
All right,
Anyways.
next.
Caitlin Butler just sending love, and I didn't get a chance to tell Todd congratulations on the new show, and Tony congratulations on the grandbaby. God bless. I'm not reading that next part.
No, because they're a bunch of thugs, and you know it. But thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Kaloho, love the football. Royce, love the beard. Don't change it.
Oh, thank you very much.
I have beard.
I think we
Dang. All right, next.
Andrew Binky, can I get a lick 'em? Go Ducks from North
Lick
Dakota.
'em. Lick 'em.
Yeah, lick 'em.
Go Ducks.
Lick 'em, Ducks. Lick 'em.
Lick 'em.
We're gonna get a lot of Duck fans in the chat.
Yeah, no, we're not.
I love it. Politics, God, and football.
Yep.
Thank you, you bunch of commies that got a problem with sports. Dang. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I was very, very happy that so many people stuck around, like over 10,000 plus while we were just talking football. I think that was a very positive first time. And
Absolutely.
I think more people will stick around. So,
Yeah, I agree.
I thought that was very good. All right, next. Tony,
Lewis.
you're getting a lot.
Yeah, man.
Oh, join
Tony,
this
why
one. Here
don't you
go.
have a beard?
What are you talking about? I've been growing this out for like 2 years. Like this, I'm like no shave 2023, 2024. This is it. This is what you get.
Tony is so Hispanic DNA, stereotypical Mexican DNA. He can't grow a beard.
Yeah, my whole family, my dad, we can't grow any facial hair. You know, if our life depends on it. I mean, we get a little bit of stubble here and there, but yeah, no, it's not possible. So
That's
unless
hilarious.
I go to a,
Would you make fun of a man in a wheelchair? How dare you?
You know what?
Tony and his lack
Hey,
of facial hair.
you know what? Halloween's coming up. I'm gonna go get one of those. What's that show called? The Duck.
Get
Duck,
you a fake beard
Duck
and just put it
Dynasty?
on.
Duck
yeah,
Dynasty.
yeah.
I'm gonna come in with that full beard hanging all the way down to here. That Duck Dynasty beard.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna do that.
All right, next.
Seahawks 12S. Dear America, love to hear from y'all. God, politics, college football, hot takes with David Pollack is so fantastic. Excited to see what comes out of Oklahoma playing Bama before Thanksgiving. Boomer Sooners.
I think
you're going to take an L, bro.
Boomers are going to have a boo-boo. That's what
Yeah.
I know is going to happen. But anyway, by that time, the tide's going to be rolling, man.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I would have, if I was Oklahoma, I really wish that I had this Wisconsin game instead of when you got it right before rolling into the Iron Bowl.
Yeah. It's me, Samantha. My dad passed away when I was 15. It messed me up. I made bad decisions. My mom sent me to my brother who was in the Marines, and it's what I needed. Girls need their dads too.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
100%. To all the dads watching, I mean, all the DSM-5 manuals and all the psychology stuff points to the fact, yes, mother is absolutely important. The father is the role that plays the definitive de facto of your adult life for forever. I mean, that's just the way that it is. The father plays such a pivotal role in the development of both the girl and the boy child for their adult life. And so, the dad teaches the young girl what type of man she should marry, and the dad teaches the boys what type of man they should want to become. And it's truly vital and important. Absolutely.
There you go.
We just had something.
Brandalorian, let's go Niners. I'll allow it.
I can't pull for the Niners.
I'll allow it. They got Christian McCaffrey. I like him. Garrett Dover, YouTube didn't like my question and censored it from sending. Wouldn't take my donation. So here, enjoy coffee since I'm not allowed to say it.
I like that. Thanks.
Very good.
Garrett.
Appreciate it,
All
bud.
right. Bowl
Randall.
prediction: Cal beats Auburn. Hey, I'm all about it.
I'm good.
Hey,
Sold.
any team. I don't care if it's Big Ten, Pac-12, ACC, FBA. I have no. As long as Auburn loses, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, this is the last one.
All right.
Striker J, side note, ordered the Pack Plus and Extra from Wellness Company yesterday evening. 8-ish, just got the notification. It's already shipped.
Wow. Thanks, Striker J. Hope that does well for you and your family. And there you go. Make sure to go get your wellness kit right now. from the Wellness Company. Use my promo code Graham to save some money. Also, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Todd's show in the hot seat. Make sure to tune in for that. That's all we have for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We love you guys. We will see you guys same time, same place on Monday. Tony, say goodbye.
We'll see you guys next week.
Royce, say goodbye.
Have a good weekend. See you guys.
Todd.
Love you, miss you, mean it.
And as always, I'm Graham Allen. Stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And as always, stay free.